Welcome back to the soft tissue laser segments here. This is part 2, and we're going to wrap it up really quickly for you just to talk about, again, bells and whistles on a laser that maybe make your investment worthwhile to you. If not, don't make it. So we're back here with Sirona's laser. When you fire up the laser, this is the first screen that comes up. And really all it is a double check of everything that this guy's capable of, one from a safety standpoint and two from an acknowledgement of what you're working with. So you've got options. I mentioned in the last segment that a lot of systems work with a wireless foot pedal. You can work this system with that same foot control. We choose not to because it cuts down on things I need to carry around from room to room. So we turn that off and we basically don't use it. You can use a finger switch. I showed you that last time. It is the yellow tip that you see right over here on the handpiece. And now when I use this laser, when I want it activated, I simply use the finger switch to turn it on. It's pretty cool. I'll show you that real briefly. Everything's USB controlled, which is really nice because plug and play in dentistry makes our job really simple. It lets me know when I need to calibrate it next. I love that. You and I don't have time to think about those things, but this laser's smart enough to do it for us. And it lets me know if there's an issue, just like a car would the next time service is required on it. Now the good news is these units don't need a lot of service. They're fairly indestructible. And the units I purchased in my office, gosh, 15, 16 years ago, we still have and they function well. The difference is, and you'll see it in the hands-on portion, is the size and the mobility just keeps getting better and better and better. So, where do we go next? Once you turn this guy on, you can hit down lower right, OK. It comes with a pin code. Every laser system out there has a protective mechanism because what we don't want is a laser firing and somebody looking at it without protective eyewear. So older systems used to have a key to turn it on and off. Newer systems simply have a passcode. So we're going to enter our code, hit OK, and it brings up a menu just like an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android phone. So we can categorize favorites and load in anything we want into here. We don't really do that. This is such easy to plug and play. I never took the time to load them. If I used my laser for endodontics, I could hit the endodontics section and I can key in on a pulpotomy. We don't do many of those, but in the pedo world that happens. And you can also use the laser to kind of cleanse out the inside of the root system, and you just press this button and go. If you want to use it for perio, it's going to bring up a list of perio procedures. Really common today to scale and root plane, to mechanically debride teeth, and then to come back and debride tissue. The laser's awesome for that. And then also, if instead of using a 15 blade or a 12 blade to make your incision, you can make your incision with this laser. Surgery is where it happens, where this laser is really active on a day-to-day basis in our practice and most restorative practices. So you can obviously choose frenectomy, gingivectomy. You guys can read through the list of all the options. And just for example, to say that we're going to do one of those so you can kind of see for yourself, if I was going to do a frenectomy. Now, what it does is it lists out everything that I know, all my settings that I can verify, I can change if I'd like to. But if I'm happy with them, which I am, they're preloaded, I just come down to this little button. Again, from a safety standpoint, it's awesome. It reminds me to do everything. So, are my eyes protected? Are my patient's eyes protected? And are my assistant's eyes protected? Good news is, behind this camera, my eyes are protected. So I'm going to tell it OK. And it's going to let me know the laser is ready. Now, again, you can hear it, so you know it's on. I'm going to back out a little bit here. But what Sirona has done is given us auditory cues and visual cues. So when the laser is ready to roll, it gives me a nice green light here to tell me it's ready. Now, again, I showed you this earlier. I'm going to bring up a little background so you can see. But keep an eye up here and keep an eye down here. When I use the finger switch here, you can see that the tip is initiated. It's pretty fiery red. You can hear that the laser's on, and then you can also see up top We've now gone from green to kind of a flashing yellow light to let us know that our laser is active and working. So everybody in the room knows, and anybody who happens to walk by the room also knows. Let me dial this back so it's not so obnoxious. But that's really it in a nutshell. Now, like I said, bells and whistles, this is great. It's push a button and roll, everything's set for me. If you choose to make a lesser investment and you don't care about all of this, you just want to buy the least expensive laser on the market, you can purchase one. Let's see if I can come back here, where you have my settings here, which means I program in how I want this laser to function. This is how all lower cost lasers work. You have to tell it all the information that pops up right here. So if I wanted to make a gingival incision with a laser that cost $1,000, I'd have to tell it what power setting, I'd have to tell it what kind of cycle, what frequency, and I'd have to let it know where I wanted to work. It's okay. It's just a little extra effort on our part. It's not that hard. But if you want a simple button to push that does all of that for you, and then you press and you're ready to roll, these newer systems that cost a little bit more money are well worth the investment. So thanks for listening. We look forward to getting you working with these lasers hands-on. You're going to love them. They're really cool. Have a great day.